graduated from high school, one of the gifts I received was a really lovely, big, hand-painted ceramic bowl that had the verse Jeremiah 29:11 around its edge. For surely I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans for your welfare and not for harm, to give you a future with hope. It was a very thoughtful gift for a young person embarking on the next season of their life. That verse might be familiar to you in some form or another. The thing about this verse is that while it is a wonderful thing to hold on to in difficult times, it really isn't something that can be applied universally, and reading it in context actually makes it that much more meaningful. The passage continues, "When you call upon me and come and pray to me, I will hear you. When you search for me, you will find me. If you seek me with all your heart, I will let you find me, says the Lord, and I will restore your fortunes and gather you from all the nations and all the places where I have driven you, says the Lord. And I will bring you back to the place from which I sent you into exile." The prophet Jeremiah lived in the southern kingdom of Judah after it had been conquered by the Babylonians and Jerusalem had been plundered. The Babylonians captured many of the inhabitants of the city and forced them into exile in Babylon, which we know as the Babylonian exile or the Babylonian captivity. Jeremiah was writing to those exiles, offering words of comfort and of hope. But this was not a universal hope. It was not a hope that good things generally might come to pass. It was a very specific hope. The hope that peace would be restored to the lands and those exiles would be able to return home. It was the hope that the worst possible thing that could happen to those who were exiled and those from whom they were separated, that it would not last forever. It was the hope that God is indeed faithful and that while we may not see the fulfillment of God's promises immediately, they do ultimately come to pass. This is the hope of Advent. It is not a general hope. It is a very specific and particular hope. It is the hope that goodness overcomes evil. It is the hope that the worst thing is not the last thing. It is the hope that no one is beyond redemption, and God does not leave us alone in our suffering. It is the hope that is born into the world in the person of Jesus Christ. So as we begin this Advent season, may we be filled with wonder and especially with the hope born out of the one whom we celebrate this season.